Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay, you sexy fucking fuckle sticks.
This is a Patreon video, a Patreon tier for Stephen Moore.
Want some more? You're not gonna get more except the Patreon that you requested. Or a hand job.
We have a tier on Patreon called Immortality is Yours. Take it! And you guys can request a review for us to do for you. And Stephen Moore, you sexy sumbitch, you requested my favorite zombie film of all time, The Return of the Living Dead. 1985, the year of my birth.
Was it?
Yes.
What a shitty year. It's a spoof of Night of the Living Dead, basically what that is. Actually, Ramiro himself came out and said it was a spoof of his films. And he knew it. I think he took it like in step. He didn't get mad about it or whatever. He's like, oh, they're disrespecting it.
Because it's George fucking Romero.
I know. George Romero, the greatness.
Once you've done great things, does the foot have a steeple with a lion?
What? I don't know.
Dude, it's amazing because it's one of the most meta films of all time. Like, and I think it's probably the best meta film of all time because you've got Scream, which is great with its meta-ness, but you've also got like New Nightmare, which is a little too much. This movie's perfect because it's an unofficial sequel to George Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, come on, you're shitting me, right?
I ain't never been more serious in my life.
Typical military fuck up. James Karen, who plays Frank, I love this guy so much. Watching this, those two in the beginning in the warehouse together is like I could watch the entire movie being just about that, man. I love them both so much and how excited he is about showing them around. And then you got Thom Matthews' character, who's this punk ass kid, because you get introduced later on to his friends who are like these hardcore punkers.
Reckless Reggie's brother in this, Damon, is in this. Ooh baby. Ooh, baby.
Miguel Nunez Jr.
Clu Gallagher that plays Bert is in this from Nightmare 2, the dad. It's like they took everything of those 80s slashers and put them in one movie, and you couldn't ask for a better cast. I thought they all did their... It was perfect. Dude, I don't know what it is. This movie is so fucking Willy Wonka weird, but I had a great time watching it. It's not to be taken seriously, and not to mention the fact that the fucking zombies, they talk, which is okay, and they actually run. So fuck you all you Zack Snyder haters that said he was the first one to do it and ruin the franchise, because they did it too. They did it first. They run like motherfuckers, and they get on CB radios and tell them, send more cops.
This movie, it really is punk rock as fuck, because it doesn't give a shit.
No,
it doesn't care about your
rules. The
rules.
Ramones could have fucking made it. When they get hit with the gas, because Thom and Frank both inhale the gas when they release it. That sewer monster, by the way, that fucking sewer monster is badass. I love that sewer zombie that comes out, and he's the first one that says, breads. Fresh brains.
When they're in the warehouse together and like all this shit's coming to life, like these cut in half dogs, they call the boss man who comes over and he's like, well, I'm just fucking done, aren't I? Aren't I?
Listen to me, both of you, very carefully. Freddie, you gotta open that door. Come here, you stand right over here. Frank, right here, and when it comes out, you brain it with that axe.
Oh, Jesus!
Well, how am I gonna stop it from moaning?
Now just get over there and do it. He's like, oh God, oh God!
I don't think I can do this, Bert.
Well, you damn well better. You got us into this.
Frank is like, well, what are we going to do? He's like, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get investigated by the FBI, the DEA, the Army, and I'm going to lose my fucking job.
This close to his face. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what your dad would tell you, your stepfather, when you come home and got a DUI or something. You're like, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be embarrassed for this family. My name is out the window. My reputation, this family's reputation is gone because of you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to live in shame and go to church every day in hopes that we pray for my stupid son that made a terrible mistake. And you know the funny thing about Bert really doesn't cuss that much, and that just shows you, I don't know what it was about those actors, those classical actors like that. They didn't need to get their point across. Yeah. And I looked, and his real name is Clu Gallagher, is it? The badass name's Clu.
Yeah.
I wonder. But he, like, you know, he was in a couple of westerns and things like that. I kind of like glanced him over in IMDb, and it's just something about those kind of actors from that era. You know, they didn't cuss a lot. They didn't need to. I mean, I know we cuss fuck, but these guys just... They were able to give their performance in a way that it came off powerful, and it was in a way that it translated well to the audience.
Old movies always feel that way,
without having to be over, you know, acting on anything. And Bert was overacting, but it was fun, and it fit with the character. His punk friends, they're coming to pick him up later on that night, Freddie.
Do you ever fantasize about being killed?
Never.
Do you ever wonder about all the different ways of dying, you know, violently? I wonder, like, what would be the most horrible way to die?
Just sitting there, just rubbing her legs. She's like, "Do you ever think about death?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No." And she's like, "I think the worst way possible to die would be to have an old man rip off my clothes."
Yeah,
And
but
she gets butt fucking
I know.
naked.
A bunch of old men to get around me and start biting and eating me alive.
And it's funny how Damon's face, he's like, yes. He's like, keep going.
He's like, everybody get the light. She's getting naked again, and she gets butt naked and gets on top of a fucking. Her butt crack is rubbing on this dirty ass fucking headstone.
I know.
And she's dancing, and they're like running around her, and even Suicide's in. He's like, yeah.
I gotta say one thing about that girl. That girl had a kicking body, dude. Holy hell!
did.
I did not expect it to be
I'm
that
into
good looking. Yeah, but even Spider, that's his name. Damon's character's name is Spider. He's like. Because it's funny, that's exactly how you'd be if you were at a party drunk and you kind of knew the girl but you didn't, and she obviously shopped at Hot Topics a lot, and then she started talking weird shit like that because she smoked too much Chiba, and you're like, I don't think about dying, and then she started taking clothes off, I think about dying all the time, and then he's like, yeah, he doesn't, like, his Jericho curl is going, he's like, yeah, and he's like,
he doesn't even want to fuck her. He's just into the fun time.
And it looked like a fun time. I don't know if I would have hung out there long. I mean, I'd probably be the guy with the tie trying to get laid. He's like, fuck off, Wade. I'd probably be that dude. But he struck me as the most weird out of all of them because it didn't fit at all that he was there. It was just
he was like
weird,
a mod.
Yeah, he was there. But he was trying to get laid, and he was, that. But that would be me. You'd have a party, but then I would leave because I'd be like, okay, this is getting like voodoo shit. Because she's taking off all her clothes. She has pink, red dyed hair, and she's destined on top of a casket with titties out.
Sounds like a good time to me.
It does, but I want to get away because I know bad things are happening.
Suicide was so pissed about that later on. And Suicide, by the way, is played by Mark Venturini, who he passed away way back in 1996, but he was also Vic from the Friday the 13th series, the one who acts the chocolate dude, who looks like Philip Rivers in that movie. But in this, he's standing there, he's still fucking stewing, and she comes over, she's like, yeah, and she's like, I want to rub your dick in this leather, and he's like, fuck, you think this is a costume? This is a way of life. And he's like, and she tries to rub his dick, he's like, have some respect for the dead.
The reason why the dead actually come back to life from just that small thing is that once the cadaver and then that sewer monster are out, they take the cadaver, they chop it up all in pieces, they take the half dogs and all that stuff, and they take it to that guy's friend.
Don Kafka's the actor, who's dead now, unfortunately, but Ernie. Because he wants him to take the body, the still alive bodies, because these aren't normal zombies. Like, they're like, did the movie lie? He's like, I think it did.
Yeah, Thom Matthews like, the movie lied?
Because, and that's what creates this riot of a fucking scene that makes it so amazing and fun, is that anything can happen in this movie. There are no rules. I can take my shirt off in Little Caesars. But they cut off, like, no matter how many times you cut off the limbs, they're still alive. So they have to take it to him, and they want him to put it in the incinerator to burn it for good.
I mean, you really think they're discussing it at the barbecue next weekend? It's like it feels just like that. Like they're discussing, like, I don't know, do you want pork chops or like? Because
Ernie dude seems like he's been in the mob, so he's like cool shit like this.
I think and then he's like, well, I need to use your crematoria, and he's like, Bert, no, that's illegal. When he brings Freddie and Frank in. And he's like, well, what's in the bag? And he was like, just some goddamn, what was it?
Rabbit weasels.
Rabbit weasels. He's like, goddamn rabbit weasels. Don't be close. They'll bite you.
Don't they remind you of like your like older people when we were kids though? How they like didn't give a fuck about anything. Like, they smoked inside. Like they ate fucking sloppy joes all day. Like, they don't care.
Bert reminded me of my dad or my grandfather. He reminds me of my grandfather's his name is Big Dad, but I call him Big Dad. But he really did remind me of him. Yeah, like the way he acts. He's like, if you go out there, goddammit, and you swim and you don't wait 15 minutes, you'll drown in that motherfucking pool.
Like, dude, that's exactly what they're running.
And that's how he still is today. Like my grandfather is exactly like that. He was like, I'll tell you one goddamn thing. I don't trust the IRS for a fucking minute.
Don't ever ask him about Wendy's chili.
Yeah, he's like, I'll tell you what they do with that Wendy's chili. He's like, they scrape up all that goddamn hamburger off the floor, and they put it in your chili. And then they sell it to you for $3. But yeah, that's how Bert was. And when they bring it in there and he explained the rabbit weasel, we need to use your crematory and burn these motherfuckers alive, and that way if they get reduced to ashes, they can't come back. Eventually Ernie, reluctantly agrees after they explain to what the fuck it is. The problem is once they burn it, it's a crematory, it has a chimney, it all goes out.
Crematorium. It's a crematorium.
Crematorium. Crematorium.
Metallica's new record. Crematorium.
I'm gonna write that. Here we are.
Sounds like
at the crematorium. here?
Cream factory.
Cream factory?
The crematory.
Do you want me in your crematory? That's awful. But anyway, so they burn it.
Come to the crematory.
Bears and cream, bears and cream. Yeah, so they burn
At
it.
the crematory. At the crematory.
Do you want some crematory and your
I'm
coffee?
done now.
Okay, good. So the chimney, you know, it shoots up the smoke after they burn the bodies. The problem is, once it gets up in the atmosphere, it starts raining, acid rain, and that shit. Now, I'm gonna tell you that sequence was cool as fuck to me. I don't know why.
Because the music, dude.
The music adds to it. Yeah, it goes up, and if you look close, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but you looks in the cloud, it looks like a face. It looks like a skull, and it's going up there, and then the rain's coming down. And dude, and then it gets into the fucking cemetery, and all the dead start coming back to life, and that's how the movie really begins, with all the zombies getting out of the grave. Now, again, these zombies are different. They talk, they even understand you. At one point, they capture one, and they ask it, "Why do you want to eat brains?" Like, "'Cause it makes the pain go away." And that part freaked me out. I don't know why.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, but
I love the zombies in this film, dude. I wish all zombies were this because they had personality. They had personality.
Yeah, man.
Like they captured that old bitch, and she had zombie titties. Like she did. She had zombie titties.
I mean, would you be like,
and her spine was like going.
would you be like that sick fuck to be like?
I can feel myself rot.
Eating brains. How does that make you feel?
Oh, I touch it real quick.
Hey, look.
Take a selfie.
But yeah, dude, she explains why they do. They eat brains because it makes the pain stop. And that they didn't like go deep on that. But if you think about that, that's scary as shit. Like, imagine what it'd be like to find out that being dead was painful.
Yeah, like
all that time you're fucking in deep pain.
Yeah, she said that she can feel herself rotting.
Ew.
So, God damn.
Fuck.
You need some Xanax.
Fuck.
So I'm just, you know what? When I die, I want a morphine forever drip.
Crematory.
That's it.
I'm gonna take me to the crematory.
That's what.
I want to be.
Hey.
Sets on fire.
In the business, that's what we call it. They do eventually track down and kill most of the punk rockers. The one girl, the one that stripped down, she got her wish.
Yeah.
She got surrounded by dirty old men and got eaten alive. Now, I'll tell you something.
I think it's a steak.
I'll tell you something about her. When she came back, her body was still rocking. It was white. It was really, really white. It was albino. But her face was fucking jacked. But damn, she actually looked scary. Yeah. When she came up to bite people, like she was like it was fucking scary in a way.
Do you think about being dead?
Not even.
You're just old man ripping me apart.
All I'm thinking about when you're doing that is celibacy. But yeah, I was really impressed with the makeup effects too. Like, yeah. I mean, they don't show a lot of gore. I mean, you would think that in a zombie movie there would be a ton. They do show some. I mean, there are some moments in there, like when they eat the paramedics and you get them to eat the brains, but you don't see overall like a Romero style Day of the Dead kind of gore, violent in it. But it's still cool. I mean, it doesn't need to have all that because again, this is just a. And Romero said it best. It's a spoof. It's a spoof fucking comedy of his zombie movies.
It's my favorite.
It's like the pre-alpha version of Shaun of the Dead almost.
Yeah.
Even though Shaun of the Dead is whatever, but that's my favorite zombie movie. But anyhow,
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
a good one.
Or Zombieland, but Shaun
I
of the
feel
Dead.
like we both have good ones.
Yeah.
I don't think Zombieland requires top status. I mean, it's good.
It's good.
But
Twinkie! But yeah, Shaun of the Dead is mine. But either way, the way they tell it and the way that it doesn't, it's kind of jerky, the story a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Again, it's not like you're watching this thinking it's going to be some kind of fucking fantastical tale of social commentary like Romero's. You're just like, hey, I'm in for a good time. And especially when they start fucking talking, and like I mentioned early on, when one of the zombies get on the CB radio, it's like, send more. First it's like, send more paramedics, and it's like, send more cops. And like it's an all-you-can-eat feast, and they know that.
The first one you got to the original dude who was in the basement, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's a classic zombie. He's like, more brains. He's like, more brains.
And he's like, fresh brain. Oh shit, dude.
What'd
Your
you do?
fucking dog's asshole must
Oh,
be
there it is again. You're a terrorist with the terror train, and you're a terrorist.
Oh my.
Terror train. I turned my dog's fart into an 80s song. Oh, there's fuck.
Oh god, do it! Ah!
Why do you fart?
She's not.
This dog has separation anxiety and she likes to sit at your feet while you make videos.
God damn it! It smells like dirty popcorn in a movie theater.
She must really think this channel is shit.
Dude, I'm getting. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Don't shortchange the viewers.
I got maced.
You got some.
I got maced.
Poo in your nose. We can do this, Jay.
Focus.
We can fucking do this.
Mr. Miyagi, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I can take it.
You must focus.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
He's Febreze next to us.
Motherfuckers die.
Motherfuckers
honestly,
live.
and I'll be honest with you. Once the zombies come fully out, it's fun and the music's amazing and it's great. But I had spit on my mouth. There's the fart.
It smells like it smells like a deflated balloon.
But honestly, I'll be honest. Once Thom Matthews and his uncle start to get rigor mortis and they start to die, I just got sad. Like, I was having so much fun and I was in love with these two characters so much, and then they actually like start to slowly become zombies, and they eventually do become zombies. But I just, at that point in the movie, I got sad, and then everything like went into the zombie territory, and it wasn't quite as fun for me. This movie's still an absolute fucking 10 for me though. Like, I adore this movie. It's my favorite zombie film of all time. It's got the punk rock element, it's got the comedic element, and dude, it's just a fun movie. Honestly, the first 25 minutes of this movie with them in the warehouse is one of my favorite moments in film fucking history.
I'm not trying to look over you. Just,
what are you doing?
Dude, I swear to God, I've seen somebody go 1, 2 back in front of your fucking door.
There's a
buckle
person?
my shoe.
Are you sure there's a person?
Maybe. Lock the door.
Yeah, it was it's the electric bill guy.
Oh, I hope he heard everything that we were talking about.
He probably thinks we're filming a gay porn.
Most likely, because
he should have shown up at 6 p.m.
So, yeah, I'm gonna give the movie a 9.0. I enjoy the fuck out of it. I think it's a great movie. I don't like some elements of it. The only part I don't like is like when Freddy gets infected, he gives in and he wants the brains.
Yeah.
In some way I felt like they were trying to go serious for a minute, because he was like, Tina, I just want your brains.
I just felt bad.
I want your brains.
I was having a good
and he always
time.
has this lispy thing. He's like, no, Tina, you made me hurt myself again, but it's okay because I love you. Now give me your fucking brains. And like,
Let me in the fucking house.
it kind of got scary. And by the way, we didn't mention the Colonel guy. Like, he's like he's ready to strike, no matter what it is.
Again, his best moments were the beginning of the film
Yeah.
too, though. He's such a pissed off asshole.
But they eventually, at the end of the movie, they do nuke strike.
Nuke it.
By the way, we didn't mention this. This actually, it was filmed, I guess, in our home state
Right
of
up there,
Louisville,
right up the road.
Kentucky.
Where we're going, we don't need roots.
No rudes.
The roots.
I like the way you
Michael!
move. I like the way you move. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That our home state is not a zombie movie.
And that's kind of what it's like to hang out in Kentucky.
It's pretty much
you break
like
into cemeteries and get naked.
all you get is just a bunch of Cracker Barrels.
Yes.
And zombies.
You
that
can
are
break chests of Cracker Barrel,
Yeah.
or you can break into cemeteries.
They
and get
live there.
naked.
But yeah, overall, man, the movie was solid as fuck. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think it's a recommendation for anybody that's a fan of zombie movies, or a fan of horror, or a fan of comedy, or a fan of all three in one.
It's underrated, man.
It is. I don't know if it's underrated.
It's underrated.
It's cult.
It's underrated.
It's cult classic.
What do you give it?
9.0. I already said that.
It should be a 10. Comment down below.
That's reserved for Sean.
With your fucking thoughts. Thank you, Stephen Moore, for picking this. I fucking love you, and I love all you guys. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some sick god damn wham.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie.